All right. So um, I do apologize. We're going to continue where we left off. So, this is a book of prophecy. Okay. So all these things you're going to notice, especially here in Genesis 49, verse 8 through 12, these are things that has yet to come. All right. So we have to be careful even with our prayers because, they say the effective, fervent prayer of the righteous availeth much. So our ancestors put blessings on us. All right. But they also prophesy curses if we went away from what we were supposed to do. So what we're going to find here in these next verses, we're going to go to verse 11, binding his foal unto the vine, and his ass's coat unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. So this is a prophecy about Yeshua, whom they created crafty counsel and changed his name to Jesus and turned him from being, we're going to say, dark in complexion like most of our ancestors that came here about 400 years ago. All right. We're from the same tribe as he. All right. Now, this is a future prophecy. This was prophesied before he was born. All right. And these are prophecies that's about to come true. It's nothing but prophecy at this point. So I want you to digest the hundreds of years that has come between these scriptures. So when it says, binding his foal unto the vine, and his ass's coat unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine, and his clothes with the blood of grapes. His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. Now, okay. So, with that being said, if you were to go to Isaiah chapter 63, actually Matthew chapter 21, verse 1 through 5, when he says, let's see what that says. Matthew chapter 21, verse 1 through 5. I'm going to try to find it while you try to find it as well. Again, that's Matthew chapter 21, verses 1 through 5. All right. All right. So it says, I just want to show you the prophetic nature of our book, because this has happened like hundreds and hundreds of years after that prophecy that we read in Genesis was spoken. So what it says is, see if I can. All right. And when they drew nigh unto Jerusalem and were come to Bethphage, unto the Mount of Olives, then sent Yeshua 2 disciples, saying unto them, Go into the village over against you, and straightway ye shall find an ass tied to a coat, and with her tied, and a coat with her. Loose them, and bring them unto me. And if any man say aught unto you, ye shall say, The master hath need of them, and straightway he will send them. Okay, and it says, all this was done that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophet, saying, Tell ye the daughter of Zion, Behold, thy king cometh unto thee, meek, and sitting upon an ass, and a colt the foal of an ass. So the reason why we go to Matthew chapter 21, 1 through 5, because I want to show the prophetic nature of our book. All right. So that was prophesied. I couldn't tell you the amount of years, but if you wanted to do the math, oh man, it'll be a great blessing for whoever will hear you after you do it, because it's just showing the prophetic nature of our book. How in Genesis 49 verses 11, it speaks about something that happened like hundreds and hundreds of years after the fact. That's just awesome. And then when you go to, let's see here, uh, uh, you can also, if you really wanted to make this really, really sweet, you can look up who's the true vine. You know what I'm saying? And it becomes tasty. It becomes wonderful. It becomes filling. It's a great, like it's like the bread of life. You know what I'm saying? Because it says, he's the choice vine. Okay. And Yeshua said he's the true vine, you know, and this is just prophecy. And we can say, okay, when we see prophecy happen, we know it must be real. All right. So then he says he washed his garments in wine and his clothes in the blood of grapes. I encourage you to take a look at Isaiah chapter 63, which is Yeshayah. Again, crafty counsel. They changed the names, and you can't tell me they didn't understand about changing the names. So it's not Isaiah, it's Yeshayah. But go to Isaiah 63 and 3, I believe. So all of these now are other prophecies. Okay. And when people say, well, oh, it don't matter. Well, it do matter, because these are prophecies. This book is more than just a book of wise sayings. All right. It's more. And when you men of Judah and women of Judah know how precious y'all are, maybe the decisions y'all make as far as who you with, maybe maybe you treat each other better. All right. Because, there's prophecies about us. All right. And if we don't know who we are and we stay blind, those prophecies won't come true. But we know they're coming true because we can sense all around us that there are people waking up to their heritage, seeing, and causing the question, well, what is it about this Hebrew? What is it about this Israelite? All right. Is this just a fad? Is this just a religion? No, it's not about a religion. It's about a heritage. It's about a culture. Things that we used to practice. Okay. And it's going to take a while for us to get there, just like babies. All right. We got to grow. And even with that, we got to do what's going to work in our home. All right. The Most High going to work everything out. Okay. So if we go to Isaiah, Yeshayah, chapter, I'm trying to focus this for you. 3, it says, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. All right. So again, this is hundreds of years after Genesis 49 and 11, but yet it's stating about Yeshua. And the thing is, this particular prophecy has yet to come true. All right. And then it says his eyes shall be red with wine and his teeth white with milk. So, you can go to Revelation. It says his eyes is as a flame of fire. All right. So it's letting you know, Yahusha, not Jesus, from the tribe of Yahudah, which is from the same tribe that many of us is from, we have a prophecy about us. All right. And as long as we are ignorant, we are blind, we will be deprived of our birthright. All right. And again, you say, why does it matter? Because if you look at the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28, he said we're going to be the tail and not the head. Now, can't nobody be mad at us for doing holy days that our Elohim said we supposed to do forever. They can't be mad at us for that. All right. Especially if they from a church or from a mosque or something. All right. This is our birthright. All right. If we choose to go back to our heritage as written in Deuteronomy chapter 30, that's what we're supposed to do anyway, to remove some of these curses off of us. All right. And that's also the reason why we got it so hard, because the powers that be, they know who we are. And the only way to get us to be cursed is for us to curse ourselves and be in a perpetual state of a curse. All right. But in the word right here is showing you why knowing who we are is important, because prophecy has to be fulfilled. And you don't want to miss the boat. You don't want to miss the train, seeing it's not significant. We supposed to actually question, why are we going through so much? Why is it so hard for us? We supposed to have that question. All right. So we'll continue. Okay. So let's go to we did Zechariah chapter 9, I hope, verse 9, because that's just saying, rejoice, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, thy king cometh unto thee. He is just and having salvation. Again, Yeshua means Yah salvation, or Yahweh's salvation, Yahuwah's salvation. All right. It says he is just and having salvation, lowly and riding upon an ass and upon a coat, the foal of an ass. Now I'll go to Zechariah chapter 9, verse 9, because I really rather you see all right. And remember, I spoke earlier about Hosea chapter 4. It's chapter 4, verse 6, where it says, my people perish or destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. Thou shalt be no more priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy Elohim, I will also forget thy children. Okay. So, just so you can have that, scripture. Now, again, we're going to Zechariah chapter 9, verse 9. All right. Okay. It says, again, this is that prophecy from Genesis 49. It says, rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, thy king cometh unto thee. He is just and having salvation, lowly and riding upon an ass and upon a colt, the foal of an ass. So again, there's these prophecies that lines up with Matthew chapter 21, verse 1 through 5. So we're going to continue on to why this matters. All right. Now, again, we always want to tie Yeshua back to Yahudah, back to us and the Father's identity. Because if we don't know we are Yahudah, Yah's praise, and we don't know that they changed Yeshua, which is Yah's salvation, they changed him to Jesus, and they changed how he looked, then we have a skewed, I got all type of things in my, for book holders, just in case you're wondering what that was. And different things that I write when you see stuff, out of my Bible. But if you don't know who you are, you don't know the blessings that is due to you, because one of the blessings that's on us is cursed be those that curse us and blessed be those that bless us. If we don't know who we are biblically, how can we receive the blessings that should be given to us biblically? All right. And I think I have something here that says, how can you claim ownership of something if you can't prove your identity? So if you don't know that that Jesus looked like you from and Yeshua from the same tribe as you, and you got that name, Yahudah. If you don't know, um, you can't claim your blessings. And Yah is, as Yeshua said, you shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free. He is the light. So, he's given us some light. And again, we have to understand, like this book is spiritual. You got to understand, we supposed to love our brothers. All right. We love everybody else except ourselves, like on a full scale. All right. We can love and forgive everybody else. But when it comes to us, we find it rather difficult. We shoot each other. We beat each other up. All right. We always cussing each other out. We don't have shalom amongst us. And this is our book written to us to help us get back in line. That's how much Yah loves us. He made a promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and us, his descendants. All right. He ain't left us and he ain't going to forsake us. You know, it says, there's a scripture that says, has God, has Elohim, forgot the people that he foreknew? He say, nay, Yah forbid, or Elohim forbid. He has not cast away the people that he's foreknew. All right. We, the people that he foreknew, and we have to come back so we can have these blessings. And anybody that say they grafted in, they need to not boast against us, because we loving ourselves again. Our men are loving our women again. All right. We trusting each other again. All right. We doing right by each other again. All right. We teaching our children to love themselves. All right. And not seek after so much what the other people got. All right. But what can Elohim through Yeshua bless us with? All right. Because there's promises coming to us when we come back to the heritage of who we are. All right. This ain't racist at all. But if it seems as though it is, we laying a scriptural foundation why you are important. All right. It ain't no, you know what? And we ain't saying that you can't be with who you want to be with. All right. You all have your own decision to make. All right. This ain't even about that, but it is calling attention to Yah's people that's been scattered across the four corners of the world. Because if you don't know who you are, how can you claim your blessings? All right. You're going to always be oppressed. All right. We take, remember, in Genesis 49 has said we are a prey. We take all our money and we spend it on Christmas. We take our money and we spend it in Halloween. All right. Now, I'm just saying those things don't give our Elohim no glory. And we all fall short of the glory of Yah. We all do. OK. What I'm saying is, you know, there was two nations. Maybe it was Rebecca's womb. All right. There was Jacob and Esau. All right. Jacob has the heritage of our Elohim. All right. And that's these commandments. That's these laws. That's these holy days. But what we're doing is not our birthright. And because we're not accepting our birthright and doing our birthright, we have all these calamities. So what the word is trying to say is come out of those so you can start to be blessed and have less of these calamities, and that you have, long life. All right. So now we're going to go to why it's important for you to know, who you are. All right. And make your decisions wisely, because they don't ever tell you. I think in the book of Tobit, that might be in the Apocrypha. It says the blood of the prophets are in your veins. That might be something you might want to say, well, that might be important to me. So let me see what woman I'm going to choose. Let me see what man I'm going to choose. All right. Because I want this blessing. All right. He said he ain't gonna make us like the stars of heaven or like the sands of the sea. All right. He ain't never forgot us. He ain't gonna ever cast us away. All right. But it's up to us to do what Deuteronomy chapter 30 say. All right. We love everybody else but ourselves. So let's love ourselves. All right. Let's raise up these young boys and these young girls in the admonishment of Yah through Yahshua. All right. Um, so now, and no disrespect to any of religion. All right. But what the Hebrews have, what Israelites have, all right, we don't have a religion. In fact, our Elohim said that we would go to religions that will cause us to bow down to rocks and to wood. All right, to wood and stone. All right. So it's no disrespect. All right. We trying to come to the truth and trying to receive our blessings, because if we supposed to have blessings, religion in these organizations should have given us these blessings. All right. But we see all these prophecies, but we are so disjointed, broken up. All right. Yeshua stated, wide is the way, but narrow is the path. All right. So, I think I forget where it is in the Quran. It's like chapter 3, verse, I don't know, 20 but it says something to the effect that they supposed to know the Torah and the gospel. All right. Which is our Torah and the holy days that we supposed to keep forever, as well as the faith of Yeshua. So by bringing this truth out, and then if you go to Jeremiah chapter 15 and 16, and then you do Psalms chapter 68 and verse 4, and you understand that we were named Yahudah, and that it's not Jesus, but it's Yahushua, which means Yah's salvation. It started putting things in a perspective where you really got to say, well, if this was in the Torah, and then we supposed to also know the new, hold on, the gospel. That means that when Jeremiah say, I'm called by your name, then that means we have to give strong consideration and accept it and see why it was that. All right. So now we go to Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 14, 1 through 14. It speaks again why it's important to know who you are, because it says Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 1 through 14. Let's see if I can find that. Again, if we don't know that Jesus was from the tribe, which is his name, his real name is Yeshua, which means Yah's salvation. He said he come in the Father's name. All right. If we don't know, how can we claim our blessings? All right. We'll have a skewed view. And for those who have listened this far, a few years back, I started getting a deeper understanding of just scriptures, and I edify and I lift up my brothers and sisters of Hebrew Nation Building, because if you just type in Hebrew Nation Building with Moray Tukoro Malachi or Morris Williams, okay, and then Joshua Cullins. If you go to the beginning of their videos and you just follow them, you'll learn a lot, and it'll bring you on that path of understanding, especially when they got to speaking about the difference between the Jew and the Greek. It was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful explanation that showed why there really is a difference. Okay. So Ezekiel chapter 37, 1 through 14. We're right here, so I'll read that. It says, the hand of Yahudah was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of Yahudah and set me down in the middle of the valley, which was full of bones, and caused me to pass by them round about. And there were very many in the valley, and lo, they were very dry. All right. Those dry bones are us who don't recognize who we are, who are dead in our graves because we don't have understanding. We don't have the truth. There's a lot of deceit, got us blind, and we're doing things that, we don't have the knowledge that's supposed to be given to us. And it says, and he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? So can we in our state with all our brothers and sisters in jail, all these single mothers, all these single brothers looking for good women, okay? All right. We coming out of these secret organizations because, these organizations just got us denying our birthright. But we want our children, we want our posterity to have our posterity. We want them to have these blessings, okay? So it says, so we the dry bones, we have to wake up, okay? And if you go to Isaiah 50, Yeshayah 53, it states how Yeshua, he comes so that we can be forgiven of our sins, all right? Because we done all sinned and fell short of the glory of our Elohim, all right? So no matter what you in, just know our Elohim loves us, and rather than destroy us the way he did in the days of Noah with the flood, this time he said he's gonna do it with a fire. Well, we don't want to be burned in the fire, all right? We want to pass through the fire like our father Abraham. We want to pass through the fire like Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. We want to pass through the fire. We want to be covered in the blood of Yeshua, all right? Just like the blood was across the post in Egypt, all right? We put that blood on the post, and the death angel passed us by and didn't kill the firstborn, all right? We want to confess with our mouth Yeshua and believe in our heart that Yah raised him by the power of the Ruach from the dead so that we shall be saved. We want to walk in the newness of life under the blood of Yeshua. So when these calamities and this destruction and this fire come, that if it be his will, all right, that he's going to pass over us the way he passed over us in the prior Egypt. But we're going to go to chapter number 4. It says in verse 3, he says, and he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Yah, Elohim, thou knowest. Again he said unto me, Prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of Yahudah. And someone say Yahweh or just Yah. Thus says Yahudah, go unto these, Yahudah Elohim, unto these bones, behold, cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. Now this breath is also the Ruach of Elohim. So as these prophetic words go out and you hear these prophetic words, all right, these prophetic words going to start to give you life. You're going to start to come out your graves. You're going to start to understand. You're going to start to walk. And it says, because he says, breath will enter into you and ye shall live. And I will lay sinews upon you and will bring up flesh upon you and cover you with skin and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. All right. And it says, or Yahuwah, it says, so I prophesied as I was commanded. And as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. That's what's happening right now. You hear these Israelites, they waking up, the men and the women, they waking up. All right. And it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing, but it's the shaking. All right. That's the shaking and the bones coming together. We recognizing again. And it says, and when I behold, lo, the sinews and the flesh came upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. So, because we just getting it together, all right? And it says, and then said he unto me, prophesying to the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say unto the wind, thus saith Yah Elohim, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain that they may live. All right. We got a lot of Yahudi in jail. We got a lot of our brothers and sisters just they need to see how the word really applies. And I hope that seeing how prophetic a book this is, and you tying back, oh, I'm not black, I'm not a byword, I'm not an African American, I'm Yahudah, all right, I'm Yah's praise, okay, and not Jesus, is Yeshua from the tribe of Yahudah, which I'm from. Hold up, let me take a deeper look at this, all right. And then it says, so I prophesied, and as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood up there upon their feet, an exceeding great army. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say our bones are dried and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, Behold, O my people. We got to say, who is his people? And when it says, and I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. This is a prophecy yet to come. But if you don't know who you are, how you going to get there? People are going to be content to keep you right in that same position. Ignorance, blindness, death. And ye shall know that I am Yahuwah when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves, and shall put my ruach, which is spirit, in you, set apart spirit, and ye shall live. And I shall place you in your own land, and ye shall know that I, Yahuwah, have spoken it and performed it, saith Yahuwah. These are prophecies that if you don't know who you are, you don't know how, it applies. And we are the dry bones. So let's see here. I'm going to stop it here, and then I'm going to pick right back up with the last part. Okay. Shalom, shalom.